A laugh in the dark, teeth closing on bone. This is the spotted hyena. For centuries, witch's servant, grave robber, coward. Yet her bite beats a lion's, strongest of any land mammal. By the end, you'll hear that laugh differently. The charge, an omen in fur, evidence now. 1,000 years, one charge. Crocuta crocuta, a witch's creature ridden through the night. In Ethiopia, such creatures were Buddha, people transformed after dark, said to dig up the dead. In Tanzania, Kenya, Malawi, not an animal, but a vessel for worse. The laugh made it believable. That cackle, heard for millennia, became the sound of joy in death. And so for 1,000 years, the sound itself was treated as a confession. They call her a coward, unable to kill, stealing what she's too weak to take. Watch closely, and the accusation writes itself. A clan gathers at dusk, dozens strong, moving in a restless energy like chaos. No order, no hierarchy a human eye can follow. Just teeth, noise, hunger. Watch the jaw. Even at rest, it looks built for one purpose only. A carcass appears from nowhere, and the clan descends. This, they say, is where the truth of her nature shows itself. Bone splits, not torn, crushed outright in a single bite. For generations, that sound alone has been enough to condemn her. A grave robber, a curse given legs. It's why farmers set traps at den mouths, why her parts were buried from her bones to break the witch's brand, why she stays the villain, lions are spared. But a verdict built on folktale is not one built on evidence. And the evidence, real, documented, inconvenient to the myth, tells a very different story. Before we reach it, look at the accused once more, exactly as the myth wants. Jaw open, eyes catching the last light, the laugh rising in her throat. This is the image that has followed her for 1,000 years. This is the image we are about to put on trial. The first charge is filed, that she is not an animal at all, but an omen. The court now turns to the evidence. Biologists measured the real force behind that bite. Strongest bone crush of any land mammal. Not a curse, a sagittal crest. A bony ridge anchoring jaw muscle no witch designed. The charge that crumbles fastest, that she's a coward, a scavenger, unable to make a kill. The data says otherwise. She kills 60 to 95% of everything she eats. Serengeti records. When hyena and lion clash over a carcass, the hyena made it most often. The story you were told, cowardly scavenger stealing from noble hunters, has the roles reversed. Now look at what the myth never films. Blowflies arrive within minutes, the same forensic signature at any carnivore carcass here. Dung beetles follow, returning the rest to soil that feeds the herds she's blamed for decimating. And above, white-backed vultures circle and land, waiting on a kill that's hers, not a lion's. The scavengers work for her. The second accusation, mindless, cackling brute, fares no better. That laugh isn't chaos, it's a structured signal, rank, alarm, reunion, across a clan of 80. Tracking every bond in a group that large takes processing power, and she has it. Largest frontal cortex by size of any carnivore. In controlled cooperation tests, pairs of hyenas outperformed pairs of chimpanzees, no training required. The witch's servant may be one of the more intelligent animals on this continent. 2 charges answered by measurement. The court moves now to the hunt itself. Watch what the myth insists cannot happen. A hunt planned and executed by the accused herself. A blue wildebeest herd grazes at the crater floor's edge, unaware. The clan does not charge. It positions. Individuals peel wide, cutting off the herd's line of retreat before any chase begins. Not chaos. A young wildebeest cut off in seconds. The chase is short. The bite, when it lands, is final. Her kill. Yet watch what follows. A lone lion approaches, drawn by the commotion. He does not fight for it. He simply walks in, and the clan gives way. The myth inverted. Noble lion, thieving hyena. She built this. He took it. For 1,000 years, we blamed her. The clan does not pursue a fight it cannot win. It regroups and moves on, the same patience, the same social calculation at work again. One more thing the myth misreads, not what she does, but is. Look closely at the anatomy beneath the tail. For centuries, mocked as a freak, a gender confusion, a monstrosity, proof of the unnatural. It is neither confusion nor monstrosity. It is architecture. Every female in this clan outranks every male, without exception. The lowest ranked female still outranks the highest ranked male. That rank isn't earned, inherited, mother to daughter, the instant a cub is born. The anatomy mocked as unnatural marks a social system built around protecting the young. The accusation of freakishness, the accusation of unnaturalness, both are about to be overturned. Because what decides her fate today isn't anatomy, it's how far people tolerate her. Follow the clan now as the sun climbs and the heat settles over the crater floor. This is when she vanishes from most cameras, resting, saving strength for the night. But at a den dug into the crater wall, life continues at its own pace. Cubs jostling for position, a matriarch presiding over all of it without lifting a paw in aggression. Here, away from the kill site, the deepest evidence against the myth is found. Not the witch's servant, the queen of her own house. And that house runs on rules no myth ever bothered to learn. In this clan, rank is not a suggestion. It is law, inherited and absolute. A cub born to the matriarch outranks one born to the lowest female, for life from day one. Not cruelty, but certainty. Every cub knows its place. The anatomy long ridiculed marks that certainty. Androgens crossing mother to cub before birth, fixing a rank never contested. Remember the charge, a gender-confused freak, unnatural, cursed. It is neither unnatural nor cursed. It is one of the most stable social architectures in the natural world, and it has kept clans like this one intact for longer than any human institution studying them. The second charge of freakishness and unnaturalness is dismissed. But there's a final charge, perhaps the ugliest inversion of all. That this cursed animal is somehow still a menace. Here is what the myth gets backwards one final time. At the edge of Mekelle in Ethiopia, clans move through the streets after dark, doing work no one asked. They clear carcasses, remains that would rot in the open, breeding disease and drawing pests into a crowded city. 200 tons of carcass cleared from this city yearly. The value of that free sanitation? Over $50,000 a year in disease and livestock costs the city never pays. Condemned as filth by the numbers, one of the city's cleanest forces. Night falls over the crater, and for a few hours the clan finally rests. Dawn returns, and with it, the same clan structure that lets her hunt, lets her raise young, lets her clean a city no one thanked her for, rises together one more day. So let us return to where this trial began. The laugh echoing across the dark, the jaw closing on bone. Look at it again, now, with everything you know. Not a curse announcing itself. The strongest bite on the continent, on one of its most social animals, laughing not in malice, but in deliberate communication. The charge was witchcraft. The evidence, structure, intelligence, an order more stable than ours. For 1,000 years we called this animal a curse and killed her for it wherever we found her. Today, researchers studying her decline have found something telling. Where she is simply tolerated, she thrives, regardless of how many people or how much livestock share her range. Where she's still persecuted for the old stories, she vanishes, not for anything she's done, but for what we still believe. The final verdict: this is not a species that threatens a community. In at least one city, she keeps it healthier. The court has heard the evidence. Every charge, witchcraft, cowardice, mindlessness, unnaturalness, filth, answered by her own behavior. This is not a monster. It never was. She is Africa's strongest bite, one of its sharpest minds, and the uncredited queen of every clan she leads. The verdict of this court: not guilty. Vindicated not by sentiment, but by measurement, by data, by a city's own accounting ledger. The laughing villain does not need our forgiveness. She never committed the crime. What she needs is far simpler: to be tolerated the way the evidence has always deserved. But not every tear told at a kill site is real. In the reeds, another perfected a grief that fooled us for centuries. Its trial is next.